Okay, so we continue with our Kitzur class, and today is class number 19, and we continue as usual with Sefer Chofetz Chaim, and the big topic is the same, Lashon Hara derogatory speech. Today's topic is the listener. Okay, so you want to read the listener?
Yes. 1 second.
Page 80, sorry.
Okay, the listener. Once something is defined as derogatory, it is forbidden to relate it on other than for constructive purposes, and under specific conditions which will be discussed later. One may not share negative information about people with his friends and family, including one's spouse. It must be underscored that relating Lashon Hara to one's spouse is no less forbidden than when relating it to anyone else. To focus on another's shortcomings is undignified and wrong.
So it's very important. That's a mistake that many people do, right? So I give you the example. So a husband would say, she's my wife. What was the problem? I tell her. Or for example, even between siblings, right? So you, for example, your brother tells you something about your little sister. He cannot. It's also Lashon Hara. If it's for constructive purpose, as we said before, that you can tell her and she's going to listen to you, but not that brother. So the different story. But otherwise, it's Lashon Hara.
Got it.
And it is forbidden. Okay. So let's continue with our Kitzur.
Yes.
So we're on Siman 9 and Halach number 11. So we continue the laws of Tzitzis. Okay. So it says, there is no mitzvah for a person to tie Tzitzis into the garment that does not belong to him. So very straightforward. So if it's not yours, even it's a four corners, somebody lend it to you, so you're not obligated to tie Tzitzis. Kind 69. Hulin 136a, it's Talmud, says, however, a person borrows a garment for more than 30 days, there is a rabbinic commandment to affix Tzitzis to it, so that it should not appear that he's wearing his own garment without Tzitzis. So here's a very interesting thing. So 30 days in Halacha is considered something permanent. You understand? So if it's permanent and people see him every day, if it's on for 1 day, for example, he has to wash his talis, right? Laundry his talis, and it takes him, I don't know, 2-3 days, whatever, because for whatever reason. So he's going to borrow from somebody else without Tzitzis, let's say. There is no problem. But for 1 month, usually people don't borrow clothes for 1 month. I mean, nowadays nobody borrows clothes, I think, right? But in olden days it was common. People were very, very poor, right? So 1 month, more than 30 days, rabbinical obligation. Continue. However, when a person borrows a talis, which is usually worn for a specific purpose or fulfillment of the mitzvah of tzitzis, there is an assumption that it is given to him in a manner that enables him to recite blessing and fulfill the obligation. We therefore assume that the owner of the talis give it to him as a present for the duration of the time that he wears it, so that it is his, and he may recite blessing upon it, upon donning it. So here's a thing. So I would give this example like in a shul, right? You go to synagogue and they're at the talesim, right? You know, all of the shuls they have. So basically they bought it for everybody. So maybe it's not a good example. Because it is public, we're going to learn, but okay, maybe a better example would be like your friend give you a talis, right? And he gives it to you. So in order for you to say bracha, he has to give it to you as a gift. So he gives it to you as a gift with a condition that you're going to return it. So there is such kind of gifts. Okay, commentary 17. The Mishnah Brura 14:11. Mishnah Brura there adds that it is preferable for a borrower to ask the owner explicitly to give the talis for him as a present, to avoid having to rely on this assumption. Meaning, if you want to say blessing on this tzitzit, so you have to receive it as a gift, right? If not, so you can just wear it without blessing. So it's still his, right? This Sif discusses the cases of one who borrows talis without owner's knowledge. Very interesting. And one who borrows the talis not for the purpose of fulfilling the mitzvah of the tzitzis, but wears as a sign of respect for the congregation. So here's the respect of the congregation. Here's a simple explanation. Like, for example, if somebody is not married, right? Not married yet, and they call him up to the Torah. So as a respect to congregation, they give him talis, and he gets up with a talis. Everybody wear talis there, right? You married or not, or somebody prays in front as a shliach tzibur, as a chazan, right? So you usually, like in the morning, let's say he's not married, so he would wear this talis, even though he usually does not, as a respect to the congregation. All right, so that's the situation that we're going to discuss here. It is permitted for a person to take the talis of another on occasion, even without his knowledge. Okay, to pray with it and to recite blessing upon wearing it. Although ordinary one may not borrow another items without his express permission, here it is permitted because it can be assumed that a person is pleased to have a mitzvah performed with his possessions. Okay, we're going to explain. Where it is generally no loss of the money. So basically, normal people, we don't talk about crazy people, but normal people, they're happy when somebody do a mitzvah with my possession. What I'm going to lose if he's going to wear my talis for 1 hour? Zero, absolutely zero, right? It's not going to shrink. It's not going to get dirty. I hope, right? So I would be happy. Commentaries say this dispensation does not apply to even the occasional use of something else's sforim, as there is possibility that the user may tear the pages. Mishnah Bruna. So in the today like the sforim, they don't cost that much as the older days. So in older days, to buy a Sefer, it's like a major investment. Today they're not that expensive. So people don't not as particular, but in all of this for sure. So and next commentary where it says where there is generally no loss of money. So everybody like they would be happy to lend somebody whatever some religious article, so they can do if there is no loss of the money. So commentaries say if the person is available to ask, one should take care not to take a talis without his asking. So some people leave talis in a shul. So like I'm sure you saw it many times. There is a bag or like under the seat somewhere. So I mean the guy came late and he sees the bag. So and he needs a talis. He doesn't want to go like take the public talis. So he wants to take some clean, nicer, right? Which is so if the guy is there, so you must ask him. Right? Maybe he's different room. He didn't leave it yet. So usually the definition of theft is taking something from somebody without his permission. That's the definition of theft, right? But in this case, it is exception. Why? Because we say that most of the people, normal people, are happy when somebody is using but this person, I would add, like. He has to treat it with respect. If somebody take my talis from my bag and he drag his tzitzis out on all shoe, so the whole dust like I would not appreciate a person, right? Okay, continue. According to some authorities, when borrowing the talis from another person without knowledge, it is the best to have in mind specifically not to acquire it. So that there will be certainly no obligation to recite the blessing. Okay, so some authorities say don't put yourself in a questionable situation. Why? Because as we said, but what if this person minds? He does not want me to take this talis, right? So that would be like I cannot say blessing. If he would not mind, I can say blessing. But if he would not, so they say. So it's like middle ground. That they are going to work according to all of the opinions. just have in mind, it's not mine. I'm just going to wear it and without blessings. That's, I think, a better solution. However, he may not take it out of the premises in which he was left. It was left, of course. I mean, you can wear it in a shul, but for the owners may take exception to this. Meaning in a shul, like if I have talis in my bag and then next to my seat, and the guy sit next to me and he wants to wear my talis, that's normal. But if he decides to take it home, that's a little too much. If the talis was folded, he must refold it after using it. So it's like a basic courtesy, I guess. And the commentators say, in the same manner it was folded originally. So basically, I mean, don't, like, for example, a person does not know how to fold talis correctly. There's a special way, he does not. So now you use it and you fold it correct way. It's like a little, he would not be very happy. Like, wherever he prefers this way to be folded, so just leave it folded like that. No problem. Okay. Continue. On Shabbos, when it's forbidden to fold garments, one may borrow a talis, but should not fold it after using it. Okay, commentary 74. Okay, so they say, see below, we're going to learn. So basically, why we don't fold the garments. So one of the 39 Melachos, where we're going to get to it, it's in the next book, we're going to go through all of the 39 Melachos. So one of the 39 Melachos that we cannot do laundry. And this final step of the laundry, when you fold the clothes, right? After it's dry, so you fold it special way, so it looks nice, looks presentable. So basically, that's why we don't fold our talis. They say on the creases, right? On the creases, after you use it on Shabbos. But you can fold it like opposite way. So it would not. It's not going to improve the talis. It's going to be like ruin a little, right? When you fold not on the creases.
Wait, also you can, like for a blanket, for example, you need someone to fold it with you a little bit. I heard that in Rambam laws of Shabbos that if someone does it with you, if two people do a task that one person can do by himself, you can do the task. Yes. So you can get someone else to fold your talis with you.
Exactly. So it's not tell you what. So it's not that there is allowed, right? It is in the cases of necessity. So for example, it is forbidden to carry something outside. Let's say. So if you carry yourself, it's one punishment. But if item is not that heavy, so basically you can carry by yourself. But two people carry, so somebody helping you, so it's already rabbinical. It's from biblical, goes down to rabbinical decree. You're right 100%, right? But here it's a perfect straightforward permission. If you don't fold it on a crease, so just fold like, just fold like other way around, and that's it. So but you have to some people. I'm not sure that they treat the talis like a piece of rag, right? They fold it like this. It's disrespect to the item. If it's a mitzvah item, treat it with respect. Just fold it, put it in the bag, and no problem. Okay. Okay. So, since the only reason that he does not refold it is due to the Shabbos prohibition, the owner forgives him for not refolding it. Okay, so usually you have to return the item the way you got it, acquired it, or got it. And now he said because it's Shabbos, so the owner understands that you're not going to fold. Okay. Regarding one who borrows the talis from another, only to wear it upon going up to the Torah and recite Aliyah, to receive an Aliyah. So the guys being called up to the Torah. There is a doubt whether he should recite blessing upon donning it. So basically, he's not wearing. So in this case, they call him up to the Torah. He's going to, but he's not wearing this talis for the purpose of the mitzvah. It's not a mitzvah. You understand? If the mitzvah would be to say Shema, right? For example, he wants to say Shema, so he would do it in a talis. But here, it's, as we said before, it's for the respect of the congregation. That's it. So it has nothing to do with this talis, right? So commentaries say 75. This applies also to one who is leading the congregation as a husband, as we said before, or the Kohen who dons the talis to bestow birchas kohanim, priestly blessing. So basically, or the one, as we said. So there are three cases. First, the person being called to the Torah, respect to the congregation. The one who leads the prayers. Also, I mean, he's not married, let's say, no problem. So he has to wear a talis. And the third one is when Kohanim blessing the people. So usually for Ashkenazim, it's only on holidays. Only on holidays they bless. But Sephardim bless every day. But in Israel, when we go to Israel, Beezrat HaShem, so even Ashkenazim bless every day. So they cover like their hands, like they spread their hands, they cover with the talis. So basically, you must have a talis. You married, not married. So in this case, still, it's not for a mitzvah. It's for the mitzvah of Tzitzis, but for some other reason.
So Sephardim only have the talis after 13 years old, so they can cover themselves for the priest.
No, Sephardim. I'm not sure what. Some of them wear talis after 13. Some of them wear even before 13. Some Iranians. I don't exactly know the details. But for priestly blessing, whether the coin, right? Somebody who is a coin, so he comes like in front of the Aron Kodesh and blesses the people. So he has to cover himself. It's Ashkenazim, Sephardim, doesn't matter. All of them have to cover themselves.
Got it.
So yeah, and you don't you're not allowed to look at them. So you look at the cedar, you look at on the floor, but do not stare at them. Never ever. So continue. Therefore, the barber, in all of the situations, should have in mind when taking it, that he does not want to acquire it as his, meaning this talis. So I'm going to. They called me for a Torah. I'm going to take somebody's talis. Somebody give me the talis. So it's not mine. There is no blessing necessary. And then, according to all opinion, he did not recite the blessing as explained above. Okay. But okay. So but. Okay, no, okay. Next paragraph. He said exactly what I wanted to say. However, however, on a talis that belongs to congregation, even if one takes it only for the purpose of being called for the Torah, he must recite the blessing when donning it. I'm going to explain why. For it is treated like his own personal talis. Communal talis is brought with the understanding that it should be belong to whoever puts it on. So commentary, Mishnah Brura, 14:11. However, many have a custom not to recite blessing, even in this case. So basically, when in any shul, when you come in, they have extra talaisim. So this extra talaisim, when they bought them, it's with intention that anybody can wear. To whom it belongs, to everybody, whoever in our shul, this talis belongs to him. For with a condition that he can wear in a shul, but he cannot take it home. You understand? That's the general approach when the people buy talaisim. So in this case, he can say the bracha because it's his. Right? But when he borrows from another person, he's not always want to give it as a gift. Okay, but in this case, but Mishnah Brura said some people don't say. I saw people, knowledgeable people, Talmid Chachamim, I saw that they do say blessing. And when they were being called, they do say blessing. Okay, so next, CF number 12. The halacha requires that the tzitzis, strings, affixed to the garment, be made of the same material as the garment itself. Okay. According to the most authorities, tzitzis strings of wool or linen the exception to the rule. Okay. And can be used for a garment or any fabric. This year discusses the application of the halachos. So let's read the commentary, and we're going to explain what does it mean. Except wool and linen, and vice versa. Tying the threads of one to one of these materials into the garment of the other material would constitute sharpness, mixture of wool and linen, which is forbidden to wear. Okay, Shulchan Aruch 9.2. Okay, so they say so these tzitzis could be made of cotton, for example. So if you have cotton towels, you can have cotton tzitzis. There is no problem. Or you have synthetic towels, you can. I'm not sure if you can synthetic tzitzis, not sure. But the two exception is linen and wool. So linen you can put on linen tzitzis you can put on any garment, on any towels except wool. And wool you also can put on any towels except linen towels.
Are linen and cotton the same thing or no?
Linen and cotton, no, they're two separate materials, two different.
Yeah, just asking. Okay.
Yeah. So linen, it's usually, like it's more expensive, and it shrinks better, more. I don't know. It's for fancy people, basically. It's cost more money. So, but all of our places that we buy in the store, the tzitzis made of wool. So that's the highest mitzvah. Tzitzis made of wool, but talis, some of them made of cotton. So you have to check. So the best if you want to do the mitzvah the best way possible, so you buy wool towels with wool tzitzis. That's it. So one of the 613 commandments. So we're not allowed to have negative commandments that you are not allowed to have a mixture of wool and linen in one garment. So that's why there is special labs, right? So you bring your garment. For example, you have a jacket, like jacket meaning like this suit jacket, right? Sometimes if it's fancy schmancy, I hope you don't have like if somebody have Boss, for example, Hugo Boss, for sure there is sharpness, forbidden to wear. But others like lower brand like Ralph Lauren and like others like Tommy Hilfiger sometimes would have, right? So basically you're not allowed to wear such a garment. So if something that is made of wool, you have to take to this lab. It costs, I don't know, like $5, $7, depends on what garment, and or your coat. You have like a wool coat, for example. You take there, they check, they give you a stamp. Right? They put like a sticker to your garment that it was checked in this lab, is no problem. Otherwise, when a person wears such a garment, it's a wear every second of his life. Every second that he wears this garment, he does this wear. Just so you know. So it's very important to check if you have for sure. If it says I don't know, some synthetic material, you don't have to check. But if it says wool, you have to check. Okay. So continue. The word tzemer, wool, used the word tzemer, wool, when it is used without specification in the Torah and in the words of halachic authorities, refers to wool of ewes and rams. Okay. So ewes or rams in the sheep. Okay, 78. So because why it says because the wool could be from goats also, right?
Mm-hmm.
Cost more money, or wool could be from non-kosher animal also, like a camel. They make a camel blankets, camel sweaters, camel coats. I mean, it's more expensive, but well, it's not the topic. Okay, so we say when we say this tzemer, it means wool from sheep. Okay, commentary. Thus, when the authorities rule that ideal material for the tzitzis is wool, it is the wool that this is the wool that it's meant from sheep, not from goats or camels or other things. In addition, the law that the woolen tzitzis can be used for any garment. That's the introduction. It relates only to the wool of use and the rents. So one more time, but when we say wool, we mean only this wool. Okay. So continue. The women over cloth is done by in interlacing the two sets of threads called a warp. So and the verb. So basically, I don't know if you saw like, I mean, that's not how, since they mentioned it. So how you will make material in the olden days. So it's like horizontal, like goes like horizontal goes like this, right? So I mean it like this, right? Like that's go like one thread, and another thread goes like this. So they like that's how they make material. Okay. The weaving of the cloth is done by, okay, we said that. Okay, continue. Regarding a talus, in which a warp threads the wool, but the verb threads the cotton and silk and the like. So basically, they try to combine the wool, for example. I don't know sure why they do that, or they combine the wool and the cotton or silk into this talus, or the opposite case. So one, like those threads, like horizontal threads, let's say wool, and those vertical silk or cotton. Okay, fancy schmancy. Where the word threads are wool and the warp threads another material. Okay, one who fears heaven, there is a God-fearing person, should not recite the blessing on this type of talus. Very strong, right? The reason for this is because there are those who say that the woolen tzitzis cannot be used to discharge obligation on tzitzis on a garment or a garment unless it is made entirely of the same material as the tzitzis. Okay, so that's why they explain to us. So basically they say, so this talus, it could be of cotton, it could be of linen, it could be whatever different material, but it should be made of one material. So I'm not sure if today we have. The talus that were made of one material, but all other garments, if you see the even shorts, you see it says cotton, but it's not all cotton. It's only 85% cotton and some other additions. It says spandex and other things. So okay, so they say God-fearing person. So of course it's only minority, but in talus, I don't think they would use some other things. Maybe, but I don't think so. Okay, 79 commentary. A God-fearing person should avoid the reciting blessing on such a garment. So they did not say that you cannot wear it, meaning that you cannot say you should not. God-fearing person. For according to that opinion, the blessing would be considered recited in vain. Okay. If the threads of the fabric were made with a mixture of other material as well, we would follow the majority of the material in determining the halachic status of the garment. However, in our case, where the other material is used for all warp or for all weft, even if the wool were the majority of the overall material of the cloth, it cannot be considered garment of wool. This is because warp threads or weft threads themselves cannot be considered a garment. So here's the sense of basically if there are some mixtures like maybe on a like around the garment that they try to make it stronger, they go with different threads and stuff like that. So there is no problem. So the problem is when there is no problem because it is majority. So majority of the wool means that it's majority of the wool. But when we say that one thread goes like this and one thread goes like that, it's not majority, it's 50-50. Understand? So that's what they say would be a problem. Okay, but if you buy it in the store, it should be fine. Continue. Likewise, if one who has a silk talus, fancy schmancy, right, with a tzitzit string made of wool, should not recite blessing on it, since the tzitzis are not made of the same material of the garment. One more time. Likewise, one could have silk talis with the tzitzis made of wool, should not recite the blessing on it, since the tzitzis are not made of the same material of the garment. Rather, if one wishes to wear such a garment, he should first recite the blessing on a woolen talis, upon which there are wool tzitzis, upon which there are wool tzitzis, and wrap himself with that talis. Even though we say that the woolen tzitzis you can tie to the other garment, right? But they say the problem is the silk. So the silk, I understand that. The way I understand, maybe it's because it is like the silk is made by worms, right? Some kind of worms, the silkworm. So maybe it's like it's a little disrespect. That's what I think, right? So they say even the what is it? The tzitz of wool, and we said the tzitz of wool we can tie to any garment. This is a problem. Okay, let's see commentary. It is permitted to wear such a garment, since the halacha does not follow the opinion cited here. Okay. However, due to the severity of the sin of reciting blessing in vain, reciting blessing upon them should be avoided. Mishnah Brura dispute this and writes that one may rely on the opinion of the most authorities and recite blessing on a garment of any fabric with a wool tzitzit string. Okay, as we said before. So basically, we follow Mishnah Brura. So Mishnah Brura said, so even if you have the silk talis, I'm not sure if they sell such a, maybe they do. Okay, so and wool tzitzis, so they say there is no problem. Mishnah Brura said no problem, but others say just don't. There is no problem to wear, but it might be a problem to say the blessing. So what to do? Just go with wool on wool. That's it. It's the best, or wool on cotton. For somebody who cannot too hot or whatever. Okay. Okay. So basically, here the Kitzur Shulchan Aruch says, so if he wants to wear that talis so much, so make a blessing on wool for 100% wool talis, and then you can wear this one. Okay. I'm not sure how practical is it. I mean, you have to place him. Okay. However, in the case of silk talis, if the tzitzit string upon it are also made of silk, one may recite the blessing on it, since both the talis garment and tzitzit string are made of the same material. As we said before, same material, no problem. Okay. Commentary. According to some authorities, however, this is not a Torah obligation, but rabbinic one. Okay. So continue. It is not common in our countries to have halachically valid silk string, tzitzit string. Okay. For some reason why, since tzitzis must be spun with the raw material, is intended to be used for a mitzvah of tzitzis, and the raw material of silk is not available in this country. So that's this country, it's Hungary, right? And next commentary says, in the times of the Kitzur, as now, Japan and China were the primary producer of the thread. So even the threads, the threads itself, the tzitzis that we wear, they were spanned like these ropes, right? These threads were spanned for the mitzvah of tzitzis. Right, so they start from the beginning. The talis itself, it's not necessary, right? It could be a garment, like anybody can do it. But tzitzis for sure has to be spanned meaning from very beginning. So since they're mostly Chinese and Japanese doing this, so yeah, so they say it's not practical to have this what is it? The silk tzitzis. Okay. Continue. 83, 84. If on a silk talis, if on a silk talus there was some silk tzitzit string and some wool string, and some wool tzitzis, it is even worse than having a wool only strings. Therefore, one should not use such a talus. Okay. So basically, I'm not sure why would he do the combination of two. So basically, don't do it. Do 4 of this or 4 of that. But as we said, the 4 this what is it? Silk tzitzit is not available. So if you want to just do 4 of the of the wool. Okay, commentary. A silk talus with only wool tzitzit string is a completely valid, as we said before, according to most authorities. Not everybody, but according to most authorities. As Mishnah Berurah agrees, so if Mishnah Berurah says yes, so you can, it's very reliable. So me personally go by Mishnah Berurah. However, a silk talus with some strings, tzitzis of the wool and some of the silk does not satisfy any single criterion. Sorry. Neither that which demands that the strings be of the same material as a garment, as we said before, nor which indicates that wool tzitzit string can be used for any garment. See Mishnah Berurah. So basically, just stick to one same material, or stay with a wool. Okay. So start another one, or you tired? You want to start? Tell me. You're on mute. You're on mute. Sorry. Still on mute. Okay.
Okay. Yeah, my mouse was dead for a second or something. I said we can do one more paragraph. We're doing laws up to tefillin now, right?
No. Tzitzis. We're still at tzitzis.
Oh, still doing tzitzis. Okay. We can do more tzitzis.
Okay, one more. Tzitzis and stop. Okay. So number 13. When tzitzis is affixed to the garment, it must be total of 12 thumb breadth in length. Right, as we said before. Okay, 10 thumb breadth. So you have thumb, like this is the breadth, like this. This is the width. So basically, as you can understand, it's like minimum requirement. It's very short. Right. So let's see. So when the tzitzis is affixed to the garment, it must be total of 12 thumb breadths in length. Okay. This is this year discussed the halachos that apply when some of the tzitzis were severed, right? Severed, possible, after they had been affixed properly. So one more time scenario, they were affixed properly, and then something happened down the road. Commentary. Note that the string refers to the beginning. Not that the strings, in double quotes, refers to in the beginning of the CF are the 4 long tzitzis string that hang on the corner of the garment, not the 8 shorter strings that result from the doubling of those threads. The lengths that are mentioned here therefore apply to the strings as a whole and must take into account that each string has 2 ends hanging out from tzitzis, right? In the tzitzis. Later in the sea of the halacha will be described in the terms of 8 short strings as well. Okay. Basically, they say what to look for. Continue. A tzitzis on which one of the 4 strings are fixed to each corner. So we have 4, and then when we double, that's how we get 8, right? Just a second, sorry. At tzitzis on which one of the 4 tzitzis are fixed to each corner of the garment was severed, they are doubled to produce a total of 8 short strings. Okay, that's what we do, and there remained after it was severed enough string to make a bow. So if you can a bow, right? So it's still considered to be long enough. Commentary. The minimum length refers to the length of the loose hanging strings, and does not take into account the length of the part that threads within a braided portion. So just so you know, so we're talking about this one, the threads, not the knots. So from the knots and on, like how long these pieces are going to be. So if you have problem with the knots, that's a big problem. Okay, so we're talking about these strings that are hanging. Okay, so one more time. So basically, if you still can make a bow, so it's still a good tzitzis. So which is I don't know, maybe an inch. Okay, we'll see. This measure being equal to 4 thumb breadths. Okay. So do they translate into inches? No. Okay. See Chaim commentary. There Chaim. He's inches. Okay. Chaim explained that this opinion that enough for a bow is equivalent to 4 thumb breadths between 3.2 and 3.8 inches. Do we need that much to make a bow? Interesting. Okay. 3.2 to 3. So basically, like I was like this. So I thought like yeah. But it's possible still make a bow with a 1 inch. So if you try, like I think you can do. But they say, okay, they said 3.2, 3.8 inches. Okay. According to Biur Halacha, however, the enough for a bow is no more than 2 thumb breadths, between 1.6 and 1.9 inches, which makes sense to me. Like that's what I thought. Okay, so Biur Halacha is a work of Chofetz Chaim, just so you know. Right? Biur Halacha. So 1.6, 1.9 inches. So I mean, like this. So I mean, it's very possible to make a bow. It's very possible. Okay. Or even so there are 2 opinions. So Chaye Adam says it's 4 thumb breadths, right? And Mishnah Berurah says quotes some other opinion that it goes like half of this size. Okay. So basically, so in case of the need, so you can always rely on this Mishnah Berurah minimum requirement. Okay. Even if 2 strings are severed, but each of them had the 4 thumb breadths remaining, and the other 2 strings are complete, their length being the proper measure, 12 thumb breadths, the Tzitzis are valid. So what does it mean? Let's try to understand why they say that the 2 are different from 1. So one more time. Or even if the 2 strings severed, so 2 probably on the same side, I guess, like from the same side of the knot, right? Severed. But each of them had 4 thumb breadths remain. Okay, so 4, or as Mishnah Berurah says, Biur Halacha said 2. Okay, little remain. And the other 2 strings are complete. Yeah. So it's for sure on one side. So on each side you have 4 strings, 2 severed, 2 still normal lengths. So they say that it's a valid. However, if 3 or 4 strings are severed, even there is a remainder on each of those 3 strings, 4 hand breadths of length, or Mishnah Berurah 1.6, let's say, and the 4th string is complete, or if only 1 string was severed, but there did not remain at least the length of the 4 thumb breadths. We're going to explain. Sorry, it's all of the like very long sentences. Even though the other 3 are still complete, the Tzitzis are nevertheless be treated as invalid. Okay, so what does it mean? So we say if one severed, but it has like minimum requirement, no problem. If two severed and they have minimum required, no problem. If three, now it's because 3 or 4, it's majority. So they say it is a problem. Okay. 1 second, sorry. Okay, sorry. Okay, so they say it is a problem. First incomplete. So, or the only one was severed, or in another scenario, or one was severed, but it's only a little piece remain, so it's not kosher. Okay. One second. I just want to make sure. So it's if majority is severed, right? So even though there is minimum length left, or if even one severed but less than minimum requirement left, so it's not kosher. Except in a pressing situation, okay, so there is exception. For example, when there is no other tzitzis available, okay, 88. The Shulchan Aruch, Mishnah Brura, and Bir Halacha, they're for detailed exposition of this halacha. You know what? It's going to take us very long time. Let's stop here because it's very long. So in Beezrat HaShem, we're going to stop. Do it next time to finish. Okay, so let me stop recording and 1 second.